Hello there, a very good evening. Welcome to Rupavahini News. I'm Chamindi Samarasekara.
Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome indeed. I'm in Rajai Surya. We start off with a look at the headlines for tonight.
The President vehemently condemned the attempt being made to mislead the people, providing wrong information to society. UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon arrives in the island today. The Cabinet of Ministers approved the President's proposal to declare 2017 as the year of freeing the country from poverty. The SLFP pledges to hold a massive party convention in Kurunagala. Bribery Commission files a case against 8 persons including Gotabaya Rajapaksa for their involvement in the avant-garde company incident. A tense situation erupts between cricket fans and the police opposite the Rangiri Dambulu Stadium. The government and military in Myanmar hold peace talks with armed ethnic groups.
Now for those in more in detail, we start off with a look at local news. President Maithripala Sirisena vehemently condemned the attempt being made to mislead the people, providing wrong information to the society. He noted that an attempt is being made to propagate false information, claiming that the government has taken measures to remove the War Heroes Memorial in the city of Kurunagala. He said that this was completely false. The President further stated that he came to know that a certain group of people were conducting a protest demonstration with the aim of inculcating a wrong view amongst the people in the area today. A direction was issued to build War Heroes Memorial at this place after the completion of the reconstruction work of the road. President Maithripala Sirisena was speaking at the launching ceremony of the Narcotic Prevention National Program at Meghahela Stadium in Hiriala, Kurunagala today. The President pinned the official badges on the lapels of the school children who contributed their share for narcotic prevention program. He also presented awards for officials in the presence of Ministers Andhra Priyadashini Yapa, Dayasiri Jayasekara, Northwestern Province Governor Amara Piasili Ratnayaka and the Chief Minister Dharmasiri Dissanayaka. Thereafter, the President participated in the ceremony organized in connection with the vesting of the new technology facility in students of Ibbagamua Kumbugatte Madhya Mahavidyalaya. He unveiled a memorial plaque and exchanged pleasantries with students. President Sirisena participated in the unveiling ceremony at the Asu Mahashravaka Buddha Raja Mahavihara, newly built at the temple, and he also opened the Buddha shrine room offering flowers at the Buddha statue. The President also unveiled the plaque at the place where the Samadhi Buddha statue is to be erected. The estimated cost of the creative work is in the region of 80 million rupees. The President also opened the Hettigam Bridge in Hiriala, located on the access road to Nelia Purana Raja Mahavihara from Kumbugatte Madhya Mahavidyalaya. It was built under the project of building rural bridges.
The UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon has arrived in the island for a 3-day official visit a short while ago. He is visiting Sri Lanka on an invitation extended by the government. The UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon arrived at the Katunayake Bandaranaike International Airport on board a special plane of Korean Airlines. He is accompanied by his wife Bansun Thai. They were welcomed at the airport by Deputy Foreign Minister Dr. Harsha De Silva. Thereafter, the UN Secretary-General signed the special guest souvenir book kept at the airport. He is scheduled to hold talks with the President, Prime Minister and Speaker as well as several political leaders during his three-day official tour of Sri Lanka. Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon is to inspect the resettlement program in Jaffna and participate in a youth conference in Galle tomorrow.
A large number of cricket fans staged a protest demonstration this afternoon, claiming that they didn't get tickets to enter the Rangiri Dambulu International Stadium to witness the Sri Lanka-Australia 4th one-day international. Our correspondent said that hundreds of people participated in the protest demonstration, blocking the Kurunagala Dambula road. Unruly crowds pelted stones at policemen who arrived at the scene to control them, and cricket fans accused Sri Lanka cricket for snatching their right of witnessing the match.
අපි අනුරාධපුර මෙතනට ආවේ මැච් එකක් බලන්න. අපිට පුළුවන් ද පල්ලේ කැලේ ආර් ප්‍රේමදාස ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් වලට යන්න. ගිහිල්ලා බලන්න අර අතන පැමිණියස් එකේ උඩ කොච්චර ෂීට් ප්‍රමාණයක් හිස්සලා තියෙනවද? ඇයි ඒවට දාන්න බැරි? මොකද අපි ළඟ තියෙන සල්ලි නෙමෙයිද? අන්තර්ජාලයෙන් ගන්න ඕනේ. මෙතන ටිකට් දුන්නා නම් අපි අරගෙන ඇතුළට යනවනේ. ඔව් ටිකට් එක 100 දාන්න කියන්නේ. දාන ඔක්කොම දාන්න.
Sri Lanka Cricket yesterday announced that all tickets at the 4th ODI between Australia and Sri Lanka at Rangiri Dambulu International Stadium have been sold out. It has been informed that spectators cannot buy tickets from the gate at the stadium today. A tense situation erupted when a large number of spectators had tried to purchase tickets from the gate. The head of ticket issuing section of Sri Lanka Cricket, Aruna De Silva, told Rupavahini that action had been taken to offer vacant seats of ticket buyers who were not present at the stadium to other spectators after the end of batting in the first session of play.
Cabinet of Ministers approved a proposal submitted by President Maithripala Sirisena to declare the year 2017 as the year of freeing the country from poverty. A committee headed by the President and the Prime Minister and comprising other stakeholders have been appointed for this purpose. This was revealed at the weekly Cabinet News briefing held at Government Information Department in Colombo today. Co-cabinet spokesman Minister Gantha Karunatilaka said that the government has focused special attention on the pledge given during the presidential election to build a prosperous nation and alleviating poverty from the people in accordance with the sustainable targets of the United Nations. He noted that the economic development program should not be confined only to economic growth, and it is important to focus attention on social security, tackling income distribution disparity as well as development disparity at provincial and district level. Attention should also be paid on the people neglected due to various reasons. Co-cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Raj Senaratne said that the program during the year of freeing the country from poverty will be launched by identifying various segments in the society. People who were not included in Divi Nagma campaign, persons suffering from extreme poverty, lower grade employees in the state sector, private sector employees with low salaries and persons engaged in self-employment have been identified as such segments in the society to be included in the poverty alleviation program. Minister Dr. Rajat Senaratne has responded to a question raised by a journalist on a news report published in Australia against the President. He said that the President has directed the FCID to inquire into this matter and find out the persons involved in this allegation and to submit a full report as soon as possible.
In the meantime, the Sri Lanka Freedom Party says the party's most gigantic convention will be conducted in Kurunagala. Minister S.P. Dissanayake made this disclosure whilst addressing a media conference at the SLFP headquarters in Colombo. It was convened to brief journalists on the SLFP annual convention to be held on the 4th of next month. Minister S.P. Dissanayake said that hundreds of thousands of party supporters are expected to participate at the annual convention, and if they are allowed to arrive in the venue, in processions, then there will be difficulty for them to enter the convention area. Therefore, maximum number of people will be brought to the venue, providing transport, and a request was made to deploy 2 buses to transport party supporters from each area. However, organizers in the Kandy district have booked 10 to 12 buses by paying money. These newly appointed organizers were very keen to show their strength, and therefore a record crowd is expected to converge in Kurunagala to participate in the SLFP annual convention on the 4th of next month.
Bribery or Corruption Investigation Commission has filed a case at the Colombo Magistrate Courts against 8 persons including former Defence Minister Gotabaya Rajapaksa for causing a loss of 11.4 billion rupees for the government in connivance with Avantgarde Maritime Company.
The case was taken up for hearing before the Additional Magistrate Nishanta Piris today. He informed to call the case before Colombo Chief Magistrate Gihan Pilapitiya tomorrow. Director General of Bribery or Corruption Investigation Commission, Derukshidas Wickramasinghe, expressed her views on the case filed by the Commission.
Today, Bribery Commission filed action against former Secretary to the Ministry of Defence and Urban Development, Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa, for unlawfully authorizing the establishment of a floating armory, thereby permitting Avantgarde Maritime Services Limited to earn rupees 11.4 billion rupees therefrom. 7 others, that is, Mrs. Damayanti Jayaratna, former Additional Secretary of the same ministry, Major General Palsa Fernando, Major General Godavela of Rakna Lanka Security Services, former commanders of the Sri Lanka Navy, Admiral Somatilaka Disanayaka, Admiral Jayanath Kolambage, Admiral Jayanta Pereira, and Mr. Nisanka Senadipati, Chairman of the Avantgarde Maritime Services Private Limited, for aiding and abetting the former secretary to commit the offence of corruption. The case will be called tomorrow before the Chief Magistrate to issue summons on the accused.
The Inter-University Student Union today conducted a march and a protest demonstration against the Malabe Private Medical Institution. The march began near the Sri Jawadanapura University at around 1 p.m. today. The Inter-University Students Union spokesman said that the police have come with a court order to stop the march, but they have not accepted it. Press demonstrators marched up to Kollupitiya Junction via High Level Road, ignoring the court order, and it created heavy vehicular congestion and traffic on High Level Road. Hundreds of students who came for the march staged a protest demonstration at Kollupitiya Junction, and they have made an attempt to march towards Temple Trees, and the police launched a tear gas attack to disperse them.
Let's have a look around Asia in 1 minute.
Japan's defense ministry asks for a hike in spending to record levels as it juggles its responses to a growing ballistic missile threat from North Korea and China's assertive moves in the East China Sea. US Secretary of State John Kerry urges Pakistan to join other nations in tackling terrorism and says Islamabad should not feel isolated by planned trilateral talks between the United States, India and Afghanistan. At least 11 people were killed and 3 people were missing when Typhoon Landrock brought heavy rain and strong winds to northern Japan yesterday. An exhibition dedicated to the 25th anniversary of Uzbekistan's state independence, the Year of a Healthy Mother and Child, opened at the Central Exhibition Hall of Uzbekistan Arts Academy. A beauty pageant was organized for visually impaired girls in India's eastern Orissa state yesterday.
Now for a short break, we'll be back with more local stories.
Green Valley Apartment Complex, Panagoda, between Aturugiri and Homagama, coupled with gym, swimming pool, clubhouse, jogging track, kids play area, daycare center, 24-hour security. Architecturally designed 2- and 3-bedroom apartments, 4.7 million rupees upwards. A project collaborated with the Ministry of Housing. Call Homeland Skyline on 0703 888 888.
ප්‍රීමා සවිසෝයා චිකන් රසෙති නව ප්‍රීමා සවිසෝයා වල ශෂේ දෙකක් තියෙන නිසා ඕන වෙලාවක ඕන විදියකට හදාගන්න හරි ලේසි. මිරිසට කිරට බැදුමට වගේම තෙල් දාලා ගන්නත් පුළුවන්. ප්‍රීමා සවිසෝයා හිතට හරියන කැමති විදියට.
Welcome back, and we continue with news here at home. President Maithripala Sirisena says the late Minister Jairaj Fernando Pulle was a versatile politician needed for the era. He was speaking at a ceremony organized in connection with the unveiling of a statue of the late minister. The ceremony was held at the BMICH in Colombo today. A statue was unveiled to coincide with the 8th death anniversary of the late Minister Jairaj Fernando Pulle. Addressing the gathering, the President said that the late Jairaj Fernando Pulle and he himself entered in Sri Lanka Freedom Party full-time politics during the latter part of the 1970s and early 1980s. As young politicians at that time, we have fulfilled our responsibilities with former national leaders at the time. Jairaj had climbed the ladder of the SLFP very fast. As a result, he had to face many obstacles after the appointment of the new cabinet following the 2005 presidential election. The President said that he and the late Minister Jairaj Fernando Pulle had to face several mental pressures at that time. He noted that he and the late Jairaj were used to talking about the freedom and democracy of Sri Lankan Freedom Party and the working of the cabinet freely.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂය සහ ආණ්ඩුවක් තුල තිබී යුතු නිදහස ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදය මැති ඇමතුරුන්ට තිබී යුතු නිදහස මැති ඇමතුරු නිදහසේ කටයුතු කිරීමට අමාත්‍යාංශවල කටයුතු කිරීමට තිබෙන අයිතිය පිළිබඳව ප්‍රශ්න අපි කතා කරලා තියෙනවා අපි සාකච්ඡා කරලා තිබෙනවා. ජේරාජ් ජීවතුන් අතර සිටියා නම් සමහර විට මට කලින් ජේරාජ් අයින් වෙයි කියලා මම හිතනවා ඒ ආණ්ඩුවේ. ජේරාජ් රටට අවශ්‍යම කාලයක ජේරාජ් නැතුව ගියේ. ජේරාජ් ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයට අවශ්‍යම කාලයක ජේරාජ් නැතුව ගියේ. මේ යුගය තුලත් ජේරාජ් සිටියා නම් ඒ යුග මෙහෙවරට ජේරාජ් අපිට විශාල ශක්තියක් කියලා මම දන්නවා.
Speaker Karu Jayasuriya, several government and opposition politicians, family members and relatives of the late Minister Jairaj Fernando Pulle were present.
Central Bank keeps its fullest confidence on achieving economic growth targets this year. Governor of the bank, Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy, predicted that the expected economic growth will be kept at a level of 5.5%.
The Central Bank Governor, Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy, made these observations while addressing a media conference in Colombo yesterday. It was convened to create awareness on the bank's monetary policy review for the month of August 2016. The country's export revenue and import cost have come down during the month of June. Tourism industry has made a significant contribution for the country's economic growth. Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy said that the government has entered into a correct path in achieving economic targets.
Yes, we live in an uncertain world. There are things which are beyond our control in terms of the global economy, which can impact, can have exogenous shocks which we can do nothing about. But at the present time, there are challenges. But I think some of the targets that the central bank had in mind in terms of where we wanted private sector credit to slow down to, where we wanted our monetary aggregate, the M2B, which is the monetary aggregate that the central bank tracks most closely, where we wanted that to end up. Those things are moving in the right direction. So as far as the central bank's remit is concerned, we think that inflation will come out at about the mid-single digits, which is the target. And we think that there will be sufficient growth momentum in the economy within the framework that is emerging to come out with growth of between 5 and 5.5%.
Journalists questioned the governor on the widespreading pyramid scam in the island, highlighting that people are being fallen into this racket through purchasing of goods and exchanging it while carrying out financial transactions. Central Bank Governor Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy had this to say.
This is a serious problem. We can have a disagreement about how much the central bank is doing or not doing. We are trying to do our best. I know our officers are very committed. They are trying to do their best. But you all also can help us because you get information we don't. We also want to stop this, do as much as we can to stop this, so that people are not affected, harmed through these pyramid schemes.
The 69th session of the WHO Southeast Asian Regional Conference will begin in Colombo on the 5th of next month. 250 delegates, including health ministers in the region, are expected to participate in the 4-day conference. The World Health Organization Southeast Asian Committee, which is considered as the oldest regional organization, was established in 1948. The regional committee has 11 member countries, including Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Indonesia and Thailand. The aim of the session is to exchange knowledge on health issues in the Southeast Asian region and to enter into policy decisions. Decision to hold the conference in Sri Lanka this year was taken following a representation made by Minister Dr. Rajat Senaratne during the 68th session in Timor last year. Several member countries are preparing to exchange Sri Lanka's experiences on primary health and disease prevention. A workshop was held in Colombo today to create awareness on the conference among local media.
The annual Ther Festival of the historic Nallur Kandasamy Kovil in Jaffna was held today with the participation of hundreds of thousands of devotees. Vasanta Mandapa deity offering for God Katragama took place at the Kovil at 5:30 a.m. today. Special pujas were conducted for other deities. Sappara festival was held today and the Perahara confined to God Katragama paraded the streets yesterday. The water cutting ceremony will be conducted tomorrow and Punvaganagam festival will be held next Friday. A special feature was the participation of foreign devotees in the Ther festival.
The All-Shares Price Index closed at 6,528.21 points, dropped by 13.59 points, and the S&P SL20 index closed at 3,585.14 points, also increased by 5.55 points at the end of trading in the Colombo Stock Exchange today. Turnover was over 1,098 million rupees. Here's a summary of market details of the Colombo Stock Exchange today.
Taking a quick look at international stories now, the government and the military in Myanmar are holding landmark peace talks with armed ethnic groups as part of efforts to bring an end to decades of conflict. The meeting in the capital Nay Pyi Taw, involving 17 groups, is being opened by Aung San Suu Kyi and attended by the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. Negotiations on a permanent pace are to be expected to last months, if not years. About opening 5-day talks, Aung San Suu Kyi said unity was essential for Myanmar's future, and Myanmar, also known as Burma, has been plagued by violence since gaining independence in 1948, involving ethnic minority groups seeking independence or greater autonomy and angry at the dominance of the Burman ethnic majority. The former military-backed government had reached truces with some groups but has never managed to secure a nationwide deal. Sporadic violence has killed or displaced tens of thousands of people over the years. Myanmar's de facto leader Aung San Suu Kyi has said securing peace is a priority for a national league for democracy.
Weather forecast. The Met Department says that fairly strong winds at times is expected to continue over the island. Several spells of showers will occur in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central, southern and northwestern provinces. Showers or thunder showers may occur at several places in the Uva and eastern provinces after 2 p.m. On the apparent southward relative motion of the sun, it is going to be directly over the latitudes of Sri Lanka during 28th of August and 7th of September in this year. The nearest towns of Sri Lanka over which the sun is overhead tomorrow are Vellayadimadu, Mahilupallama, Ipalogama and Thalevilu about 12:10 noon.
Well, that's it from Rupavahini News tonight. More stories tomorrow at the same time. Until then, good night.